All right, let's communicate. All right. Okay, so pomegranate juice for your nuggets. So practicing SR is a form of self-love. Self-love, what is that? And it's something that like us as men are like, what are you talking about, dude? Right? Self-love. It's just so foreign to us because self-love is like an emotion thing, and like for men, we are supposed to suppress everything because we have to be a pillar of strength for society, for the feminine, for women, feminine energy, everything. We need to be strong, but you also have to take care of yourself, and that is a form of divine masculine energy, which it's a different type of energy. It's a different type of masculinity because it's a balance. It is not. It's a balance, but it's an infinity of yourself, being able to love yourself. And you cannot ascend until you reach that point, or you're going to learn the hard way. Because what most people do, they suppress, they distract. Let's just say sleeping around is a form of self-hate, comparison, judgment to yourself. Overthinking is a form of self-hate. And I'm not perfect. I am just explaining to you what's happening to myself right now. And when you rely on somebody or have expectations of someone else for that validation, for that feedback, for that love, and you lean on them and then they drop and they don't match the expectation, what happens? You go through this turmoil, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And I think the difference between a divine masculine, the other person will hate themselves or will self-love. And that is the point of this whole entire video. Self-love. Let's get into it. I'm gonna try not to edit this. I'm just gonna keep it raw talks. So, where do we go from here? That's it. Why is similar intention a form of self-love? If you're watching filth, if you're touching yourself, you're trying to escape something. That form of self-hate, that discomfort, that ugly feeling, that uncomfortable feeling of facing yourself, of seeing things, comparison or whatever, or like you don't have a job, you're not getting validation from women, you're not getting validation from society or whatever. You have this issue that you self-attack, you self-hate, right? And then you go on a retention. What is retention for? What is the purpose for? You're giving back to yourself. You're accumulating more of this energy back to who? Not other people, but yourself. You're giving yourself self-love, and that is everything. When you give yourself self-love, then that is when you start attracting people, situations that want to give you more, because they're just giving you back of what you've already given yourself. If you hate yourself, when somebody gives you attention and they pull back, or someone gives you attention or a breakup or those kinds of situations, and then you start to feel it, it's because we can go into metaphysical too, and I don't want to go too deep into metaphysical because I might lose some people in there because it's another topic. But basically, metaphysical is just what you feel on the inside is on the outside. So you start to see that when you're not retaining, you'll have more issues and problems that will show up in your life. Things not working out, failing, relationships, friendships, careers. And the more you retain, the more love you get from the outside. And it's because it's a form of self-love. when you retain. You today you have there's no way around it. You have to retain. You have to give everything back to yourself. And it's not until that point once you do that and you have your cuppeth right over your cup filled is when you can give back to other people. And just your presence alone is giving back. Because if you don't have that presence because you're drained, you're half-assing everything that you do. You're half-assing your own life. You're half-assing other people's time and attention. And it's not fair to them, but most importantly, it's not fair to yourself. But let's go back to this. This is one thing I want to harp on. If you rely on other people, things, even money, to give you that form of self-love, it would always fail you, no matter what. No matter how much money you get, no matter how many girls you get, type of thing. Because it is not coming from the inside. It is not coming from the inside. So you're always going to be functioning as a half-assed, half male, half self. So when you're functioning from that point, you're going to keep falling and you're going to keep running into pain. And that pain is just there to show you that you're spending your time and attention on the wrong things. And it should have been always you that you should have been paying attention to and loving more so. And once you get to that point, that is when you start seeing the change. So, self-love. You need to start doing things that make you happy. Start doing things that make you happy to fill your own cup. People will see that you focus all your time and attention on yourself, and people are gonna love you for it. But again, we're not doing it for other people. That is just a feedback from the outside that you're on the right track. But you love yourself. Once you start doing that, you'll start having access to higher thinking, higher brain, higher mind, part of your brain that is usually left dormant because you're stuck in this self-hate survival part of the brain. And you can't see certain things, you can't pick up on certain cues or thoughts, or you don't have access to that self-love, which is what it is. You need to have self-love. Self-love is everything. Say you go out in a social setting, you don't have that self-love, it'll show. People will resonate to it, will go towards the people that have more of the self-love, which is more, what that gives you is for self-expression and unapologetic. So, all these things that are in the manosphere, which is about ascending, self-improvement, self-growth, a lot of it stems from self-hate. That's where it started. So they want to improve themselves, they want to change themselves so that they can be loved by the outside. But really the entire thing has always been to realize there was nothing wrong with you to begin with. And you just have to learn how to bring that love back to yourself. And once you do that, that is when all the things that you want and always wanted for yourself will happen and come attracted to you, because you changed your inner world. So your outer world will change. What does that look like? You spend some time alone. You spend some time by yourself, learning what makes you happy and maintaining that. So when you go out into the world, you are by yourself in the outside world. And because you did the inner work when you're by yourself and you reached, let's just say, this level, and you go also at this level, people are going to feel that level of you, and that's when they'll be attracted to you, because you'll resonate with people at that caliber, and that's when you'll attract your tribe, your people. So, yeah. you have any questions, let me know. Appreciate you guys watching.